Hey guys, welcome back to the biggest agricultural platform known as Luna Ngombe, but its other segment called On a Serious Note, done by me, yours truly, Mitchell Mutumba Simata. So today, I'd love to talk on an issue, man, something that I think is vitally important. I remember my friend Nelson mentioned it when I was on his farm. He said, when you do this business, buy from people who can do after sales and also give you mentorship and mentorship. Then I thought, hey man, I should talk about mentorship in agriculture. Why is it important? Mentorship is a very critical component of farming. Why? Because many farmers, many livestock, horticulture, poultry, people in the farming sector, many of us are not trained or qualified in the field of agriculture. Many people are either professional doctors, lawyers, accountants, engineers, nurses, teachers, even radio presenters or television presenters. Many of us are qualified, are trained and qualified in that. We didn't probably have the luxury to go to NUDAM, which is under UNAM, NAST, which is under the Namibia University of Science and Technology, IUM, which is Namibia's International University of Management. We probably didn't get that luxury to go study agriculture. We chose another field of study. And then, as we grow older or as we grow older, we probably want to get into the agricultural sector because many of us were either coming from rural Namibia, which is probably the villages, or maybe you are one of those people whose family have a family farm, and now you want to get involved. So you don't have those qualifications. You didn't have because this people that study agriculture get theoretical in agriculture and get the practical in agriculture. And then after that, they probably go do internship at a large firm, a farming firm, or they go work on a large farm, whether it's in Namibia or they go abroad. Now, a person such as myself, who is qualified in media and journalism, I don't have that. So this is why it's very important for me to get an intern. I mean, not an intern, but to get a mentor. A mentor, in simple terms, I put it as a business coach. When you get into business, you're trying to get into probably manufacturing of shoes. You get a person who is experienced, who has been in the industry for years, who knows the tricks that many newcomers might not know. So this is why it's important for young people or anybody who's getting into the agriculture sector and probably has zero agricultural experience gets himself, his or herself a mentor. Because like myself, when we got into the livestock business, into producing slaughter animals, producing heavy animals for slaughter to supply meat going to sell to people, we had to find a mentor who's experienced in that, a coach who's experienced in beef production, because we made mistakes when we started off. When we started off, we did one positive thing, which was buying cows that were already pregnant, so they were going to give birth very soon. But we bought a bull at a commercial auction. And many people will tell you, you never buy a bull at a commercial auction. You buy bulls at the production auction and you go buy them directly from the farm. Because many a times, those bulls or cows that are being sold at the commercial auction are usually animals that are being prepared for slaughter. They're being prepared to be turned into meat. So most of the time, they don't make the best breeding stock. Those are animals that a farmer probably threw out for whatever reason, maybe too aggressive, giving birth in erratic birthing patterns, or some reason that farmers would sell them as to get money. And we bought, and that was a mistake we made, because when we got that bull, we had a whole 1.5 year that gap where we didn't breed. Fortunately, our animals were already pregnant; they gave birth. But now, when it came to the reconceiving, that bull didn't do what it had to do. The second problem that I experienced was calving problems. I didn't know how to help a cow give birth at that time. YouTube was around, but I didn't have a very good phone to be able to go into YouTube and see how it's being done. But fortunately enough, I was lucky enough to have very good workers who were experienced, who worked on various farms, different sizes of farms, various farmers, and were taught these things. So they were able to help the cow calve. So it meant I didn't have to take time to call the state vet, who was a bit far, 40 k's from us, or I had to, me coming to drive from Windy, which is 100 k's from the farm. So fortunate. But when you don't have workers that are that experienced in this type of farming, you would need someone who is that experienced, and that's where a mentor comes into place. If I had a mentor and he was nearby, he or she could be able to drive from his farm, his or her farm, come and assist my animals to give birth. he or she would be able to come to my farm when I am there and tell me, Mitchell, the grass is getting a bit dry. Maybe it's time to start feeding. Maybe it's time to start using certain medications or giving certain feeds. Or let's look at all your animals. There's a drought coming. These animals aren't the best. This one's showing that they might struggle, so get rid of this ones, keep this ones. That's the insight that a mentor can do for you. He'll be giving you advice and training you in certain things that you might not have had the luxury of knowing. You know, because he's coaching you. Let's put it that way. He's coaching you on trying to make you the best farmer ever seen, best livestock farmer ever seen. Because, like I said, I didn't have all the answers when I started. I was struggling, I was making mistakes. And I didn't have a mentor. Myself and my dad has qualifications in agriculture, but he never really practically did his agriculture. He got the qualifications, he did it for a time, and he never really went into agriculture as a profession. He became an administrator, teacher, nurse, and then later on became a politician. That's what he was doing. So both of us didn't have that experience. So we lost all the training, or he lost all the training. I didn't have the training at all. So I was fortunate enough to get Mr. Andres de Jager. I posted him a couple of days back. He was selling a bull at the Brahman auction, where I said it was good seeing him, good learning from him. I learned a lot from Mr. de Jager. He was teaching me things such as when I'm buying a bull, what are the pointers that I have to look at? When I'm buying a female, what are the pointers that I have to look at? When my cow's dung looks a particular way, I must start changing my feed. If my cow's dung is very runny, I must buy this type of feed. If my cow's dung is very hard, I must change this type of feed. Sometimes the dung of my animals tells me how the condition of the grazing, how my field is looking, what I need. And when I remember, biggest case that happened on our farm was a snake bit one of our bulls, so he started developing an abscess, a very terrible abscess. Mr. de Jager helped me to say, okay, inoculate this, try to not let the bull move about too much, because it might lead to, try to let the bull not move about too much, it might lead to the poison spreading further in the animal, might even kill it. So give it this injection, check the abscess, once that abscess becomes big and thingy, once it becomes too big, cut it out and drain the fluid. He taught me all these things, but we didn't do that because like I said, I live in Windhoek. My farm was 100 km away from me. The workers there didn't do things on time, so I had to call out the state vet. The state vet had to come and cut the abscess open and was removing dead muscles that were eaten. And we didn't lose because we did the basics that Mr. de Jager told us: inject this, do this, do this, do this, so the cow doesn't die. That's why I believe having a mentor is important, man. Having a mentor is like having that. It's having an industrial expert on call at any time, because anytime I had a problem, anytime I had to look for workers, he would help me look for workers and be like, no, I got you these workers, they worked for me, they're experienced, they can come work for you. So there's an understanding there, and he would help me. It really, when I started having Mr. de Jager mentoring me, it helped me get my farming levels to a very good level, to the point where I went from just being a startup to full commercial. From full commercial, I went into start breeding, which was with the Simbras. Because what I did was, beside Mr. de Jager, I tried to get as many people to mentor me, as many people that could advise me, somebody I could call up, give me good advice at this and that and this and the other. So that's why I feel it's important to get a mentor. As much as it's important to get a farm and start farming and put money into it, it's important to get somebody who has been in that sector for a very long time and might know the industry ins and outs. Because like I said, when you come to a particular area, you have this idea that you probably want to farm Van Rooyen sheep. And probably that area is not a Van Rooyen sheep area, it's probably a Veldmaster or Damara sheep type of area. So having access to somebody who's experienced and has been doing it for a while in that area, he or she can sit down and be like, nah, don't go Van Rooyen, go Damara. Because the Van Rooyen might not survive in this area because of X, Y, and Z. So this is why it's very important to have a mentor. Or if you are farming in an area where there's a poisonous plant, this mentor could be able to tell you, this and this is what you have to do, or from this month to this month, move your animals to a different camp. Because the poisonous plant like growing in the sandy areas here, they like these areas. And the cattle will come to these areas and eat anything green. So move them away from this. Or inject them with this, so the poison, once it eats the poisonous plant, it doesn't circulate a lot in the bloodstream and it can survive. Or you're having a stock theft problem. Your mentor could being a person who's farmed in that area a bit longer, could be like, okay, what you can do is when nighttime, don't let your animals go to the camps closer to the road. Bring them to the camps closer to the house. Rather keep them closer to the house at night rather than having them go to the camps because there's a stock theft problem. These are the inside industrial tricks that this person, this man or woman will be willing to give you. If you want to get into the chicken business, you want to do layers, he or she can probably advise you, buy this type of chicken, give it this type of feed, build this type of chicken coop, this time is the best, and do X, Y, and Z. So that those as you'd say, those nuggets, those gold nuggets, you can get from a mentor. You know? So I would say mentorship is same like internship. They both play a very important role. If you can't do internship but you can get a mentor, get a mentor. Get somebody, a man or a woman who's available to you. Anytime you have a problem, you can call him or her and he can give you advice. Or if he's willing to do the extra mile and drive from his farm to your farm, get that, because we all need that. They're just assistance to make sure that we get there. We reach our targets, we meet our targets, and we reach our targets at the right time. Because the problem we have, or the problems we experience in agriculture, is many of us get into this business, probably have a plan to get to where we want to be, and many of us are doing on-the-job training, meaning we are breaking many eggs as we go before we get to the point where we are perfect. With a mentor, you might not have to break 5 eggs, you probably just need to break 1 egg, and then from there on, things start moving, you know. Because there's this saying that goes, with a mentor, it halves the time it would have taken you to get to your goal by having this person, experienced individual, assisting you. I know some mentors could be nice and be like, look, I'll mentor you for free. Some might be like, look, give me something, give me some money. Or if you don't want to give me money, pay at least for my car's fuel when I come to your farm. You know, at least that's the least you can do, because I'm giving you education. I'm giving you my knowledge that I probably had to find out the hard way before I got to this level, and you just want to be given for free. So sometimes when they do ask us for money or ask us to pay them, don't run away. Do what you have to do, because this person is going to give you his knowledge that he probably had to achieve on his own. Nobody taught him what he knows. He had to learn. He had to learn from zero. He had to go and be taught by somebody. So it's very important that getting a mentor is very important. But if they do ask you to pay them, pay. Sometimes you're getting your value for your money. If you get a mentor and you feel like his or her advice is not working for you, get another one. Don't just be stuck. Get another one. Get somebody who speaks to you and who's able to help you get to where you want to go. But like I said, if these people ask for a payment, do that, guys. Let's not be greedy. These people are sharing advice and knowledge they have obtained for over the years for free, or for maybe as little as 600 or 500. They're doing that for that much. If you were to go attend a course, you'd probably pay 5-6 times more. So what am I saying? I am saying that every emerging farmer, every startup farmer who's starting from zero, who is getting into the business for the first time, doesn't know, probably came from the village, did farming on small scale, did his vegetable garden on a small scale, or did his livestock farming on a small scale, is coming to one and wants to be a commercial farmer. Get a mentor. Get a person who can help you, who can advise you, who can give you industrial tricks on what to do, who can tell you what to look out for, how to go about it, and who can help you get there to be successful in a shorter period of time than what you anticipated. So mentorship in agriculture, for me, is a critical need. You know, if you are new at this, you don't know much, get yourself somebody who's experienced, who understands this business, and he or she can really walk this journey with you and get you to be the successful farmer that you want to be. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say bye for now.